and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 16th of December, everybody. It is a Saturday. Whoop, whoop. So we'll start off with day 16. So this one is an exclusive to the Advent, but we have one of our pencil pouches with a beautiful glitter diamond for today for you to pop all your little bits in. So we can pop the putty in, we can pop our little wax pot in, we've got the diamonds there. What else have I got handy? The glow in the dark pen, wax tips, pen tips, all the things, all the little bitty things. You can pop them all together. I actually use one of these, not this exact one, but I will be using this one at some point. I have this in my little cart next to me with a selection of different pens that I should probably sort out now I've got my pens closer to me. But I keep a pair of tweezers in there, just things that I can just grab and go, or grab easier off my cart and just have a sack next to me. So just like a case of my essential bits and pieces, but I definitely use these cases when I go away. It's very handy to keep everything together. So that is day 16, and we are working on the other half of the butterfly today. So we do still have just a little bit of the flower to do, but primarily we are working on the butterfly half of this one for today's. I'm using a pen that was gifted to me by Diana. I actually can't remember if I've used this one already or not. I can't quite remember, but I'm using a tray from September of 2022. It's sort of a pinky colour. I felt like they matched. They match enough. So let's start with some white, as always, and let's get the white place. We have actually got quite a bit of black on this one, but let's zoom you in. I do apologise if you can hear. Somebody's just come home, I think, so Luna's trying to train her to calm down quite a bit more when people come home. So we'll let them do that. But yeah, I hope everybody's got some awesome plans for this weekend. But on to comments, etc., because I do have a lot, and I will probably waffle about something as I'm going along and as it pops into my head. But Polly says she really loves the zesty lemon putty. She said it's beautiful packaging too. Thank you. Abby did an amazing job with the putty. Very, very impressed. Kira says, she's tagging 11th of December, about half an hour in. She says she totally understands reprioritising your life nowadays. She says when all of the children aren't home yet, she says we do things differently, out of order of our normal process. She says she has to. She says thank you. She knows she has time to get stuff together because her daughter is the only one coming home this year, and she won't be here until late on the 22nd. She said she's finding it difficult to even have any holiday spirit. She says she thinks she can do this now. She says, wow, she's turning up the Christmas tunes. Me and hubby were actually talking about this today, how neither of us yet really feel like Christmas is around the corner. There's not really, because the kids are older, they sort of let us know anything that they want. We've picked up a few bits, but like even putting the decks up this year was just me. It was pretty uneventful. as a whole, and we think that's what sort of stopped us feeling like it's nearly Christmas. There's also, you know, we've not particularly been anywhere. So, of course, I work from home, tend to, if I'm putting anything on, I'm putting a book or something on. Hubby tends to, even though he's out and about for work, he's in and out of hospitals. So it's not necessarily major Christmassy in hospitals. You know, he tends to listen to podcasts and things rather than the radio. So he's not getting that sort of influx of Christmas music that he may get if he had the radio on all the time. So yeah, we think we might do nip out and get some bits this weekend, to some sort of Christmas bits, and see if we get injected with any sort of Christmas music to make us feel a little bit more like Christmas is around the corner. You know, we've still got a week or so. I'm sure things are definitely starting to slow down a little bit more here. There's not as much prep wise, you know, that sort of needs to be done. Launch has happened, prep for launch has happened. Stock's been restocked since launch, so it's going to be a bit of a calmer week. I'm sure the excitement will hit us a lot more when Caris gets home, so it'll just be delayed a bit more. Plus, you know, everybody's still working, etc. I am filming this on Friday night. I was going to leave it until Saturday morning, but Catherine comes home later on today. So she comes home from uni for Christmas, so that might ramp things up a little bit. So I thought, no, let's get the WIP and Waffle done. I still need to, of course, do them over the weekend anyway. But if there's anything else that we want to get done while Catherine's home, or us nipping out and trying to get in the Christmas spirit a little bit more, we can do that. We can do that over the weekend. So yeah, I think it's just going to creep up on us a little bit more this next year. Right, let me go down and finish this before I end up getting myself all the way up over there. Kira, she says, oh my goodness, she says the mailbag holder is the coolest thing she's ever heard. She said that is something that she would love to see and want in my situation. She says the idea she has for her retirement sewing and hobby room is insane. She says minimalist to the maximalist, or vice versa. She says, who cares as long as it's in the right places? Yes, my mailbag holder was absolutely perfect for launch. Perfect for the busy times. Not used as much on sort of, you know, when there's like just the daily 20 plus orders. It's not used as much because they tend to primarily be sort of in our standard letter and stuff boxes. So I have a really big packing table now. So they tend to get stacked according to mail type. And then I put them in the bag sort of nearer the end of the day, once I've given chance for any more orders to filter through. But come launch, absolutely amazing, because I tend to split the orders by mail type, and then I pack. So I'm packing, I'm labelling, I'm putting in the bags. You know, I'm touching an order once instead of touching it a few times. I'm getting the label on, I'm getting it in the bag, and then once a bag's full, I get to bring it in and put it in the hallway, ready for the postie, get myself a brew and go back and do the next bag, etc. So it means I'm not bringing them all in at the end of the day or trying to hunt labels and match them up to orders all at once when I've got over 100 orders to deal with. So yeah, It's one of those little things that I now have the space for, but just makes life so easy, so much easier. I don't have to trip over mail bags either, which is quite often what I'd do when I was packing in here. I'd still pack by mail type, I'd still get it in the mailing sack, but I'd have to pick it up each time to put one in, and then I'd trip over it and it'd be in my way. It's the small things that can just make life a little bit easy. Susan, she says, it's going too fast. She said day 11 is almost over. She said she loved the putty today. Lemon is one of her most favourite scents as well as flavours. She says she tried it out right away and it seems to be working in her metal 5-placer. She says we'll see how long it lasts. She says as she was painting and listening to me, she said raw mail arrived. She got the bone Admiral's S tray and she switched to it right away. She said she loves it. She says, but let me just tell you about this absolutely gorgeous flower pen. She said the pictures don't do it justice. It's seriously so pretty. She said she also got the set of bookmarks and she was really surprised by them. She says they look fantastic and they're the perfect height. She says, so thank you very much for my goodies and another fabulous waffle. She said she'll see me tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Susan. Yes, that pen is really pretty. They're so hard to either photograph or get right in the light. I'll need to find where mine is. I think it's in my cart in the conservatory and maybe try and use that flower pen in one of my upcoming WIP and Waffles. I need to sort of sort out my pens as well. Go through them and actually get all the ones that are in that pencil case in the conservatory and bring them in. Because I have been really enjoying using a different pen each day, and I do like sort of changing up which pens I'm using. I enjoy changing up which trays I'm using as well. It gives me different colours to look at. Polly, she says she wants to say that so far the Advent daily gifts are wonderful. She said she is so enjoying each day of the Advent so far. She said thank you to Rebecca and family. Well, I am glad you are enjoying them. We had great fun picking and putting everything together. Got quite a pro at packing Advents by the end of it. By the time you've packed quite a few hundred, you get pretty good at it. Deb says she loves the zesty lemon putty. She said it smells great and works great. She said, is this an item in our shop? No, at the moment that isn't an item in our shop. Whether it will be in the future, time will tell. We may see whether that is something that we can have a small selection of, so that if people do need a bit more, they can get hold of some. Kim, she says, why does she not see diamonds with nubs on them until she's placed them on the canvas? I'm the same. The amount of diamonds I end up trying to peel off because I've not seen them. I think it's either, and this is my reasoning, quite often my diamonds are pretty close together, so they're not standalone for me to see them. I also think sometimes I don't particularly look at the diamond before I pick it up. I'm just sort of looking as to roughly where it is on the tray, so I can stab it right. It's like my eyes aren't fully focusing on the diamond itself. And yeah, sometimes it's just the contrast is not enough between the tray and the diamonds. This one is pretty easy contrast. It's a darker tray with white diamonds, but I'm still definitely known to miss a few. That's for sure. Every now and then when I find I keep doing it, I take a moment and actually really look at my tray and try and pull out any diamonds that aren't up to scratch and try and do it all at once, so I don't keep coming across them every 2 seconds. She says she doesn't see them until her next square drill won't sit right. She says blind as a bat. She also says no wonder companies furnish a pair of tweezers with their square drill diamond paintings. Yes, tweezers are absolutely perfect for digging into diamonds to try and pull them out. Sometimes I end up breaking the knob off the diamond while I'm trying to actually take it out, and then, you know, I don't need to move it at all. It's just the way it works. She also says day 11 looks like the base of a badminton shuttlecock. She says, which is what she thought it was until I said bulb. And that's this one here. It does actually look a bit like the base of a shuttlecock. I suppose they've both got the same sort of look. Jerry, she says the cross stitch pattern and square issue, she said, is her. She's on day 9, she says, of the Diamond Art Studio kit. She's never done cross stitch in her life, and it is her first square painting. So she's going for a double whammy. She said she is enjoying both. She's getting better at the painting, as it's only taking her just over 3 hours to do instead of 6. She downloaded Markup R-XP, and it has helped her immensely. So that's the app you can get on Apple devices to help you with chart downloads, etc. I've just put one on with a nub myself. I thought it was going to snap off, but it's not done. So we'll just remove that one and try again before it gets too ridiculous and I end up with diamonds all over the place. I think I might have to pull this out, and I think I took my tweezers into the conservatory the other day. These are the sorts of things I still need to sort out. So like tweezers, I need 2 pairs. I need one in the conservatory and I need one in here, because I'm not going to keep moving them about. I'm going to end up not having them where I want them because I've left them somewhere else. So I really need to put a set in here and keep a set in here so that I don't have to do this battle. Cross stitch and tat, she said happy Advent. She said today a hubby gave her an A1 light pad and a 240 bottle pretty case from Art Dot as her early gift, since they are so busy between now and Christmas. She said that light pad is huge. I can imagine. A1. I suppose a lot depends on whether you're used to those sizes, because of course A1, A2, A3, A4. A4 is the UK paper size. So we're used to those sizes in relation to paper, posters, etc. But if you're from a country that doesn't use those sizes, I can imagine that understanding exactly how big they are is a little bit different, because A1 is massive. I've got an A3 light pad and that feels big, never mind an A2 or an A1, which is probably more than 4 times as big. I reckon you'd get an A1 on a full-on drafting table or a full dining table. It's that kind of size. Huge. Suzanne says her lovely tray has arrived. She is using it now on her Diamond Art Studio advent calendar. She said, but she is a bit behind. She's just started day 9. I'm hoping to do a little bit of that later. Hubby's going out, so I think I might try and get a couple more sections done. I am running ahead on mine because I've paused everything else apart from this, of course, because I'm filming the video. But apart from this, I have paused everything else until that one's finished, because it's the only Christmassy one that I have at the moment. That's my only real injection of Christmas. Cat Lady said today she has finished wrapping. I'm thinking of starting tomorrow, just so that I feel more done. She said she's still got a few decorations waiting to go up. She's now back on track. She said even the washing has been done, so that the clothes they want for the weekend trip are in the dryer as she types. She said she thinks by the end of this week they will need the rest. 4.5 hour drive down and another 4.5 hour drive back will give her time to unwind. That's for sure. It's quite a bit of time. Right, I've sort of sneaked over here to finish up these flowers, even though technically I should be doing the black. I also think I am going to have to go and get my tweezers in a minute. So when I tell my memory card to save, I might go and get my tweezers so that I can get this glue dot to work a little better by taking it out and popping it back in again. Let me get just these little bits that I sort of class more as flowers than butterfly done. The one thing I can say I am currently on top of until Catherine comes home, because I know that will change the minute she brings all her washing. I am currently on top of all the washing. I've been doing a load a day, spreading it out over a maiden, popping the dehumidifier on, and then taking it off the next morning and putting another load on. And it's worked absolutely great for being on top of washing. As I say, until Catherine comes home this evening and probably brings me about 4 or 5 loads, and it'll take me a week to get on top of it. Right, I nipped and extracted and reinserted my glue dot. I have brought the tweezers in with me in case I need them again, though I'll probably need them out there this evening and we'll play the game again tomorrow. But anyway, okay, I'm going to need more black than that, aren't I? Right, let's move on to the black. Christina, she says, after hearing her name a lot now, she said she is really curious as to how the name of my daughter is spelled. She says because she has like 5 versions in her head. She's also never heard it before. She said, so that makes the confusion only bigger. So I'm guessing that will be the name of Caris, who is due home from Australia. So her name is spelt Carys. It's the way it's spelled. It is Welsh. Many people put an I instead of a Y. Some people always put a K as well at the beginning. But yeah, it's spelt Carys. She often now laughs at the different various ways that her name seems to be spelt. I've seen a couple of Instagram posts where she's laughing and, you know, or people, oh, nearly got it right and things like that. I think somebody famous as well had a daughter named Caris. About a year. Caris was about 1 year old. And they spelt her name different. I can't remember if they spelt it with an I or with a K. But yeah, that definitely didn't help the confusion, that's for sure. Tina said, hi Rebecca. She says she's really loved the umbrella in this painting. She said it is full of so much variety. Was hoping to use her new tray, she said, but Royal Mail must be snowed under and they didn't deliver today, so she's hoping tomorrow. Another great waffle, thank you. Yeah, I mean, tract 24, which is what we send UK in, should technically arrive next day, though they do have a little caveat that it can potentially be a little bit later than that. I know I've had a few things that have arrived quite a bit later. First class post, I sent something out to somebody. It wasn't an order, so I sent something else out to somebody first class, which again should technically be the next day, though it's not as high a priority as tract. Took a week, so goodness knows how long second class is taking. But yeah, definitely around this time, give it 24 to 48 hours. But most things are turning up next day. I think a lot depends on how your local delivery office is doing, because post is collected from me at just after 4 p.m. And tract 24 is sorted through the night. It's the priority for through the night and next day. It's only once tract 24 and I think first class is done that they then moved on to tract 48 and second class. So they must definitely be getting through sorting them, because some people get them next day. But doesn't everything, all post and deliveries, slow down around Christmas? It's just the way it is. Bernadette, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, well, she has been loving all the items in her advent calendar. She said she guessed that today's were labels before she opened the bag. She said, but imagine my surprise when she saw them. She says they are absolutely gorgeous. She is already using her new pen and metal tips. She's used the gorgeous little bottle too. She said, yes, she did know what it was for. She says she's saving the bookmark and cross stitch to do when she goes visiting over Christmas. And she can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. She's still behind on a Diamond Art Studio Advent, but life, she said, has now become a little bit quieter. So she might just manage to catch up. She said, thanks for another great WIP and Waffle. Well, thank you for your feedback, Bernadette. It's always good to hear what things, you know, people are using straight away, what things people like, all that sort of stuff. It just helps us make future years go better and better. I say we've got a few key items pretty much locked in, like we know that's going to work. We've got a few exciting things, or at least I'm excited about them for next year's, but not everything's nailed down yet, so feedback always helps. Colebody said, hi Rebecca, how are you today? I'm good, thank you. It's Friday, it's the weekend. It's always good. It's a weekend and one of my babies is coming home. So I'm going to have 3 of my babies home and I'll just be waiting for the 4th. She says her daughter sent them their Christmas gifts and it said to open now. It was a diamond painting snowman and a Santa Christmas train. She says she's so excited. She says she loves listening to my videos and your wonderful tips. She says she diamond paints in the day and cross stitches at night. God bless, from Joanne. That sounds like a good combination. I do like to cross stitch in winter. I really do. I just don't have one at the moment to do. My framed Christmas cross stitch is up. It is actually at the top of my stairs. I popped it on a bookcase at the top of the stairs today because White Christmas is up in the conservatory. Though they would go together, I just don't have enough blank wall space to keep putting more. Liz, she says she started on day 2 of her Diamond Art Studio picture. She said she took the tip from the other YouTube video and drew 10 by 10 lines on a canvas with a Sharpie, and divided the chart the same. She said that's a game changer. She says she still takes longer than a standard diamond painting, but it's so much easier to follow. It actually made it more enjoyable, she said, and not frustrating. I can imagine that. There are a couple of images that I've done that I've thought, oh, 10 by 10 would be easier. At the moment, say I'm doing the border, which is already on the canvas. Then I do number 3 and I do them in lines. So I do like all the way across. And then I end up marking it off on my chart before I then do the next one. And then it varies for the actual image, but in effect I do the background first, followed by the rest, and I've got a little bit of a rhythm with that now. But there's definitely sometimes if there's an image that has the same colour as one of the background colours, I still do it in 2 different sections. I always pick the colour from the image that I can count in from various different places to sort of, yeah, mark it off. It's complicated, but it's fun and it's different. And at least it's sectioned up. I wouldn't like to have done it in one big foul swoop. I think I definitely would have had to mark it up into 10 by 10s then. But yeah, I can imagine that 10 by 10 little guides make it a lot easier. Even if you're just referencing to check that you've done the right amount, you know, little guidelines to sort of cross-check your numbers against. But I suppose it's why they say counted cross-stitch, because you're forever counting. And basically it's counted diamond painting. So you're constantly counting. Diana, she said, hello Rebecca. She said she is so enjoying watching these Advent videos. Even though she's not participating, she says she gets so excited when I open the little gifts. So many cute ideas. She says she doesn't know how I do it because my brain's always racing with ideas and with things. I've even been looking at things today. I had half an hour before I needed to get the labels and get the post ready. And even then I went hunting for potential things. She said she can't wait to join in next year. She said, sending good wishes to you and your family this Christmas. Oh, good wishes to you too, and I'm sure you'll enjoy next year's. There is, yeah, we've got, well, I'm excited anyway. I'm excited for some of the things that we've got lined up for next year. It's one of those. I think it's going to be even better. I just need to keep an eye on the costings and check I'm not pricing us too high. But I think we're all right. But yeah, due to being able to buy in bulk, I think we're able to get even better sort of quality for next year and stuff, if all things pan out. Grey Legrand, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she loves the umbrella image. She said she did it in rounds previously. She started on day 12 last night, which is the lips. because she wasn't sure how busy she would be this evening. P.S. she says she loved the stickers today. She is planning on cutting her images apart and getting a frame that would display 3 at a time and change them out periodically. She says maybe. She says everything is subject to change. Isn't it always? These ideas that float around in our head and we say what we've got to do until it's actually done, it is always subject to change. Blossom Chops, she says she also puts the point cover from her tweezers next to her trashy and pot lid. She says never thought that it could be a useful tip to somebody else. That's the thing. So I put it on my case, but actually putting the pot lid up on the grip mat, I don't know if it wasn't for somebody mentioning it, of course, in a comment, if it was something that I did automatically, and I've done it before with other things. People have said, oh, that should be a tip and trick. And I'm like, oh, yeah. The amount of times you do things that you've either just instinctively gone to do it, whether it's just because you wanted somewhere to place your lid or not, and you've never actually fully thought through how helpful it is, then you don't always know that it's a tip. Quite often with tips and tricks, I'm sure there's many of the tips and tricks videos that I've got that people have gone, oh yeah, I do that. You know, and you actually do it already. And you've just, again, not realised that it's actually something that could be really helpful for somebody that doesn't do. Many of the tips and tricks videos I've done have actually been people saying in the comments, that's a good tip, on something I've discussed on a waffle, and I've gone, oh yeah, it is. And then I've done a video about it on its own. So a lot of the tips that I do quite often come from you guys suggesting that they would make a good tip. Right, I've outlined my butterfly. How pretty does that look? This one, the outline of the butterfly is actually one of my most enjoyable ones to do, and I've just realised I do need to do my rhinestones, and I think that it reminds me of the Paint Gem mandala ones, where I did the outline of the mandala design. Let me just get that one to go under the cover paper. I did the outline of the design and then filled in the colours in the middle, and the butterfly reminds me of that. And it is, as even though it is a load of black, it is the most enjoyable way to do black. The most enjoyable way to do black is do it as an outline and then fill in the colours. It's another reason I can't wait to do the fairy house. I think it's the fairy house, Diamond Art Studio one, that has black outlines and then you sort of colour it in. I really enjoy doing those types of paintings. Quite a few, I think it's Hannah Lynn, Mandy Manzano paintings are also like that. They're like a black outline and then you colour in the sections, and I really enjoy doing them. Right, again, I'm just trying to lift my cover paper up just so that rhinestone can go underneath it. Because these are slightly bigger than the squares, so they do end up overlapping just a little bit. So I may have to nudge some when they're all done, which makes me think it possibly would have been a better job to do them all at once. But I've started now, so I shall carry on. And we will find out if that's a big mistake later. And I have tweezers, so I will fix it later if I need to. And they do still nudge up a bit as well if I do need to sort of push them a bit further down. I can do that, so I can always mess about with it at the end. But get these rhinestones in, and then I get to colour in my butterfly, which is the best part of it. Get to clip so many back in. Right, done with those. Shadow Kitty says she is really excited to be back at diamond painting. Her back went out from degenerative disc disease, and she wasn't able to do it for days. Ooh, it's worse when you can't do it. You want to do it even more. She says she's now catching up on 3 days and doing today, which is the 4th to do. She's doing a section and watching the videos in between household needs to give her back a break. She loved the diamonds. She says she hasn't added the extra shine, but she does love having options. There might be another painting that adding the extra shine will suit better. It is nice to have them though as that little option when you do. She said she was one of the people that didn't get last year's advent calendar, and while working on her chosen picture, she regretted it. She says, never again. She says, thank you for the amazing video, and she'll see me in the next one. Well, you enjoy your diamond painting time, and say getting up, getting those boring household jobs done, give your back a break and then go back to it is the best way to get both things accomplished as well. You're moving about, you're getting a household job done, and then you're sitting back down and enjoying yourself. I love those kind of days though. The kind of days where I have my diamond painting out, but I'm up and down and pottering. I can only do it in the daytime. I can't seem to do it at night time, but in the daytime, I love it. Right, just got in the rest of that flower. It was sort of, I didn't want to do it too early because then I'd have done some of this centre of the butterfly. But now I've started on the red, I'm going to finish off the red first. So I'm going to move on to the moon symbol. My grip mat is a little bit higher up, so it is propped there in case I forget. Magic Moon Child, she says the banana medicine is how they discovered they were allergic to penicillin. Ooh, scarred for life. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not surprised, not good. It's always one of them. Finding out you've got an allergy for something is never fun. Well, not unless you have one of those allergy tests that you get everything mild. Trish says, hopefully by the time I read this comment, she'll have her energy back to diamond paint. She has the flu, and bronchitis, and she just wants to lie around. Well, you just lie around then, Trish. As fun as diamond painting is, if you've not got the energy for it and you're full of the flu, just take a minute. She says, oh well, she said it's given me a chance to catch up on videos. That one's got a knob on it. And audiobooks. She says she loves how the painting is coming along. Thank you. Laura, she says she has a mini jam jar that she keeps her trash drills in. She says on Sunday, when she was doing her Diamond Art Studio painting, she accidentally tipped her tray into her trash pot after finishing a colour. Ooh. She says she did manage to rescue a few. And she's now using a trashy tray and then emptying it into the jam jar after her diamond painting session. Just to stop that problem. Yeah, I very often have a trash tray and I always seem to want to empty it when I've finished. when I've finished a session, it is part of cleanup. I have got a small bin in here that I use when kitting up, but I haven't got sort of a general rubbish bin in here, which is why it's probably the longest that I've had a trash tray that's not been emptied. And it's purely because I don't have a general bin in here. But when I'm working on a painting in the conservatory, it goes straight in the bin as part of cleanup. She said, thank you so much for today's advent stickers. She loves them. And hopefully they'll be useful as well, which is good. Tamara, she says, hi Rebecca. She said she just heard the comment left about the woman and going to see her primary doctor about her hip. She said she also suffers with back pain that in turn causes the irritation of the SI joint. She says asking about it might be helpful if injections could work. There we go. Pass that one on. I love passing on the little hints and tips that may help. Olivia, she says she loves the stickers. She says very handy. She says, will you be bringing out different designs on your launches? That's not the plan. We don't have that plan at the moment with the stickers. We have the diamond stickers for sort of general use. Stickers tend to last quite a while. Depends on what you're doing, of course. If you use them for every single painting you kit up, they may go down quicker. But there's, per full A4 sheet, there is 216 stickers on a sheet. So coming up with a new design every month, while possible, isn't necessarily the best use of our time. But we do love giving something a little bit different and a little bit exclusive in the Advent. So you can use your exclusive stickers throughout the year for projects that may need them. And you never know, there might be some next year, there might not. Depends on what we finalise on. But if there is, they're likely to be different, because we like to make a few things that are exclusive to the Advent. Tammy, she says, Rebecca, she says she loves hearing me read out her comments. She said she absolutely does do more than cooking and cleaning. Good. She says besides a full-time job, she takes care of 4 children and a husband plus fur babies. She has multiple hobbies to keep her busy as well. She says she just happens to listen to my videos while doing housework. Well, as long as there is other stuff that you do as well. Having 4 kids is definitely, well, dependent on their age, can definitely be more tiring than having less. Though once they get older, it can definitely start going the other way, that's for sure. But yeah, we all have our things that we tend to do while listening to something else. So I'm glad I can keep you company while you're cleaning and cooking, as long as you take time for yourself at another time and still get to squeeze in your bit of me time. Right, have I got all those J's? I have. I've actually started going from darker colour to lighter colour. And I don't know why, because then I'm putting my diamonds into this side. So like when I've got a row of them, my pen's having to face here to put them in. And that's not normally the way I like to diamond paint. So I'm definitely mixing it up a little bit today. Mixing it up out of my comfort zone. Lady Dax, she says her launch goodies arrived today and she's so happy with them. She says thank you. Oh, I'm glad you like them. There is some fun stuff in launch. Susan, she says, what a glorious waffle today. She says she loved the advent stickers. She said she'll definitely use those. She said she had thought about next year's diamond painting. She says, what if you took a page from the mystery advent that Diamond Art Studio did this year, but instead of 25 different sections, she says, have it create a winter scene, but not necessarily a Christmas theme. She says she would love to do a faux heaven and earth design painting like that from me. I'm not sure for next year. I'm still mulling over a few different ideas as to what to do. We've got a few ideas sort of in the pipeline. We're just going to have to wait and see which one wins. She says, thank you for keeping me company again today. She said, see you tomorrow. My only thing with doing a sort of blank canvas one as well is how much everybody would be up for that, because there are some people that it's just not for them. The other thing is the time it takes. It does just take so much longer, and it would end up being, in effect, have to be a smaller painting for it to work. So I'm not quite sure how that would work. But I say we are toying with a couple of other ideas of things. Just need to make some final decisions. We need to find the one that's the right fit that makes me go, yes, that works. Shadow Kitty, she says she absolutely loves my pen. That's from the 10th. She says hers has a straightener and a 4-placer. She says other than her 1-placer, she says they're the main ones she uses. She said she was one of the people that put her stuff in another room and slowly unpacked it. She said, and she came to realise how much stuff she didn't need, as they were still in boxes in the shop 7 years later. That's definitely one way of putting something in quarantine to see if you're going to use it. Just never unpack it when moving. She says we plan on cleaning out the shop this year, and she's excited to see what goodies she never unpacked before donating them all to Goodwill or our restore. She says my hubby was very distracted during this video and kept talking about what advent calendars he wanted us to get next year. She said we have decided to purchase a bunch of random ones. She says that could be horrible. She says with her good diamond painting ones, and to make one for their animals. She says they don't have any children, so the animals are their children. She says we're very excited, planning ahead, and she told him that pre-order might be in July, and he said yes, better for the budget. She said thank you again for an amazing video. I do like the idea of lots of different advents. Just help bring that excitement back. I think maybe me and hubby should buy each other an advent of some sort next year as well. That's sort of our little surprise. And it can be like one of our gifts to each other. We just give it earlier. Maybe it'll help us get in the Christmas spirit a little bit more, or a little bit quicker, especially now the kids are older. Though Caris will be home next year, so she'd help me decorate the tree. Right, I'm going to do these two lighter to darker because I much prefer putting diamonds in this way into a painting than this way, just because I'm right-handed. Sandra said she finished her section 5 minutes before me today, so she thought she'd swap her TV watching to her tablet so she could comment for a change. Oh, well, hello, Sandra. She said she's loving the advent painting. She's putting her numbers in chronological order, and she's using the Decide Now app to tell her what section to do next. She's using the tray storage for most of her drills, and she definitely thinks it makes things quicker. I've lost where I was. Makes things quicker than tipping in and out of containers. Yes, that's for sure. I love using the tray storage for the painting, and I'll probably do the same sort of thing again in June, because it is quicker. She says this was such a great idea. She says she's looking forward to putting the 12 sections onto her calendar for next year. She says she's also doing the Diamond Art Studio as well. Sorry, hang on, let me find my next colour. She says, and she's finally caught up. She says she was too busy building, trying to complete the Lego grand piano. Oh, I need to go look at that. I've actually got some Lego coming off Santa, and I'm well excited because Boxing Day is Lego Day for me, and I am going to be well and truly gone and building Lego for a while. I have a bookcase now that doesn't have diamond painting items on it, so I'm going to fill it with Lego instead. She says the mini charts were a challenge at the start, but she's loving it now. She says she has swapped out from using Pattern Keeper to mark up as she finds it easier. She says maybe 2024 is her year to try a Heaven and Earth Designs. Well, at least you've had a taste of it now. She says, oh, and P.S. she says, loving the change of your YouTube photo. Thank you. That was actually, I got hubby to take that when we were at Cheshire Oaks a few weeks back, trying to get him some clothes. Because I knew I needed to change it from my dark hair back to being lighter hair, which helps cover the grey a bit more. So, yeah, I got him to take that, though. I still think we could do better, but anyway, we'll see what Christmas brings. Maybe I'll get a photo there that I like. Right, that is day 16 done. I forgot what day then. That's definitely an image that has gone half and half very well though. So where are we going next? Down here. Down here for the next one. And then we'll have nearly 2 each on each one. We'll have 2, 4, 6 and 7. So just over a week to go until we are done. Yeah, I'm kind of excited and sad all at the same time. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me for today's, and I'll speak to you all again tomorrow.